Greetings, World Hoppers, and welcome to the Bahaverse. Today, we will be looking at the lore of one of the most iconic characters created by Cygames. That's right, she's none other than Vampy-chan. Vania, Claudia, Bumpy, Vampy-chan, or however you would like to call her, is a little vampire princess that would make anyone she likes into one of her bloodkin, or a loyal servant by biting on them to drink their blood as a sign of a pact. Though for Vampy, anybody she treats as her bloodkin or Kenzoku is her family. However, do not let her looks fool you. Beneath her cute and quirky appearance lies a dark, tragic history, with some of it being tied to a sequence of events that could have led to the end of Rivenbrand, the main world of the Rage of Bahamut universe. This led to Vampy having many near-death situations. Without further ado, let's hop onto the origins of Vampy, the vampire princess and the future queen of vampires. We first meet Vampy in the Dragon's Awakening event. The event takes place in what is called the Castle in the Sky, one of the many floating castles in the sky created by the Celestials, or the Ten Nin, an advanced race of beings capable of creating large structures such as the castle, using the castles as vehicles to hop into other dimensions, create artifacts that do their bidding, and more powers that I will tackle in another video. Here, the legendary fighter, one of the main protagonists of the Rage of Bahamut series, meets Vampy. As the name suggests, Vampy is a vampire girl, a cheeky yet friendly vampire girl. Aside from Vampy, we also get to meet her pet dragon and best friend, Beth, and a fairy named Iris. The legendary fighter met Vampy just right after she awoke from a deep slumber. She was sleeping for a very long time, to the point that she lost her memories from before her slumber. Vampy doesn't know why she and Beth are in the castle in the sky in the first place. Vampy, together with Beth and Iris, accompany the legendary fighter in his quest to find the secrets of the castle in the sky, and along the way, find clues to Vampy's past. Well, not much was learned about Vampy's past in the event. Only snippets of information pertaining to the secrets of the castle in the sky and the Celestials. At the end of the event, they were able to defeat a fearsome, venomous three-headed dragon named Azidahaka. After the dragon's defeat, the three of them, on the back of Beth, soared into the sky to their next adventure, leaving the castle behind, the legendary fighter tagging along with them reluctantly. We get to know more about Vampy-chan and her past in the next event, Memories of the Dark, which takes place in and near the Branvania Castle, or Brandonville Castle in English. After the events of Dragon's Awakening, Vampy left behind Beth and Iris in the Sky Castle, and settled in Branvania Castle in search of her memories of her past. Together with her in the castle is her younger brother, Vite, whom she treats as a servant, almost like a slave. Despite having lost her memories, Vampy possibly acknowledges Vite as his younger brother due to the same blood that they share. Quoted by Vite himself, "You must be envious of us who live longer lives. I even lived long enough to meet her whose whereabouts were previously unknown." Yes, the blood tells me that she's my older sister. After Vampy settles in the castle, she could not escape another conflict because soon after, there is trouble brewing within the castle. With the vampire queen asleep, two vampires, namely Vlad and Alucard, were terrorizing the nearby human villages, together with their loyal servants, hoping to become the new rulers of the castle. Vite is a loyal servant to the vampire queen and sees the rogue vampire's behavior as unacceptable. Vite, together with Vampy, seeks to return order within the castle and stop the plans of the rogue vampires. They enlist the help of our ever-present protagonist, legendary fighter, and another pair of siblings, Lucius the Vampire Slayer and Tina the Sacred Sister. The gang were successful in thwarting the plans of the rogue vampires, and calmed down the angry vampire queen when she awoke from her slumber. However, in the middle of their mission, Vampy was experiencing an unknown illness. Even after defeating the vampire queen and healing attempts by Tina, Vampy's condition only worsened. If her illness continued, she will perish. The vampire queen in her normal state revealed an important detail about who Vampy is. It is quite a sad and dark detail about Vampy that made the queen pity her. What is that detail, you may ask? The queen said that Vampy is a living experiment of the Celestials. They experimented on Vampy as a part of their research on attaining immortality to the point of obsession, where they became obsessed with the concept of a life never ending. The reason why Vampy was sick was because of the experiments done on her back in the castle in the sky, and that being away from the sky castle makes her ill. With that revelation, the queen deemed it best that Vampy return to the sky castle to find the cure, and that the legendary fighter should escort her back there, to which he agreed. Soon after the events of Memories of the Dark, the next event, the Immortal Girl and the Egg of Ruination, finally gives us most of Vampy's origins. After some time, the legendary fighter was able to escort Vampy back to the castle in the sky, and this time, her condition looks worse than ever. She desperately needs the cure to her unknown illness. On her arrival to the Sky Castle, Vampy is immediately greeted by Beth, her best friend, and Iris, her fairy friend. Iris wants to treat Vampy's illness, but she doesn't know where the medicine is. While everyone is worried, a girl with curved horns calls out to Vampy, remarking that she has returned. Excited that Vampy came back with her memories returned, Vampy says that she does not know who the Horn Girl is. The girl, who introduced herself as Saphira, was disappointed but was worried first about Vampy's condition. She told Vampy that there is someone that wants to meet her, someone who knows who she was before her deep slumber, someone who has the key to Vampy's past, and most importantly, someone who could possibly have the medicine to cure Vampy's illness. Saphira brought Vampy to someone named Spinaria, or Spinny, a light purple-haired girl with a small crown on her head. Saphira mentioned that Vampy is the person this Spinny character has been wanting to see. Spinny rushes forward to Vampy's side with a delighted look on her face, saying that Vampy has returned. Similar to Saphira's reaction, Spinny was saddened to know that Vampy doesn't know who she was. Saphira explains that it was because Vampy lost her memories after waking up. Saphira and Spinny was concerned about Vampy's condition, and they decided to find the medicine first, before anything else, with Spinny exclaiming that Vampy is her dearest friend. And so, Spinaria, Saphira, and the legendary fighter, carrying Vampy, went out and searched inside the Sky Castle to find the medicine. While searching, Spinaria and Saphira were cautious of the legendary fighter, but they soon opened up to him and more was revealed about Vampy. Spinaria admitted that she was the one who put Vampy to sleep. Her losing her memories was an unintended side effect of the medicine that put her to sleep. Spinaria did that because Vampy wanted to go to the surface world, the world beyond the castle in the sky. Not wanting Vampy to go to the surface world, she put Vampy to sleep thinking that friends should always be together. Adding to that information, Saphira revealed that Spinaria also put herself to sleep, together forever with Vampy, showing just how Spinaria loves Vampy and how much she wants to be together with her. Not long after, the gang was successful in finding the medicine, or medicines, for Vampy. Their searches led them to the top floor of the castle where the celestial egg is located. The sight of the egg made Vampy regain her memories of the past and a bitter memory where she had a fight with Spinny. Reflecting on her actions and grasping the true meaning of friendship, Spinaria apologizes to Vampy. After some touching events, they promise each other that they will see and experience the outside world together. Before Spinny and Vampy can enjoy adventuring to the outside world, they have to resolve the problems revolving the Sky Castle. These are, but not limited to, Spinaria being absorbed in the celestial egg, the castle crashing down onto the surface near the sea, betrayals, and a false celestial being corrupted by the power of immortality, whose power could have spelled the doom of the world. These scenarios happened in a span of 5 interrelated events, all of which are related to the castle in the sky, which is an idea for future videos. However, I'll highlight the important moments that happened in the last event that tells us more about Vampy. In the event Blackened Sky Castle and the Warden Girl, Vite, under the command of the Vampire Queen, sought out Vampy in order to tell her that the Vampire Queen wants Vampy to be the next queen of the vampires, and he was also tasked to bring her back to Granblue Castle. Before he could bring Vampy back though, he decided that he would help Vampy and the gang in the ongoing battles in the Sky Castle. After defeating Vera, the main villain of this event, Vampy once again asks Spinaria to come with her in exploring and having fun in the surface world. Spinaria is hesitant because she is one of the masters of the castle in the sky and needs to watch over it. Seeing this, Lucille, Spinaria's sister and the other guardian of the castle, said that Spinny should go and that she would take up her responsibility alongside Sasha and Nakim, both of whom has the blood of the Celestials, in guarding the castle so that Spinny can be together with Vampy. Before Vampy could ask our hero what he plans to do after this, he bolts out, not wanting to stay with them for a moment. Vampy gets annoyed and so Vampy and Spinny hop on the back of Beth and chased after the legendary fighter, all the while Vite failing to bring back Vampy to the Vampire Queen with the Queen scolding him. After these events, Vampy-chan begins to call the protagonist as Kenzuku, or her bloodkin, valuing the bond that they have created together in their journeys. In a story focused on vampire-related characters called The Return of the Sky Castle Vampire and the Vampire Princess, which is the first part of the story under the tenderly loved vampire princess's friendship with the Lord of Thunder, we get to know more about Vampy and her relationships with other characters in the Rage of Bahamut universe, besides her being connected to the people in the castle in the sky. The event starts off with Vampy guiding our protagonist to Granblue Castle, the vampiric fortress, because the queen has requested the hero's presence. Vampy and the legendary fighter met Yuna, seeker of vampires and the beautiful, near the outskirts of the fortress. Yuna explains that the queen tasked her to find Vampy and give the girl she was escorting in Vampy and our hero's hands. The girl with her, whose name is Raven or Vania in Japanese, is actually Vampy's younger sister. Vampy didn't believe Yuna at first, but believed her when she told Vampy that it was the queen who said that Raven is her little sister. Here, Vampy also confirms to Yuna that Vite is her little brother. Vampy is warm and caring to Raven to the point that she says to the hero that Vampy is also like a mother to Raven, besides being her older sister. This led to her remembering her own mother and the soup that Vite and Vampy's mother always serves the two siblings.
バンピーちゃんはバーニャのお姉さんだけどお母さんでもあるんだからちゃんと面倒見てあげるんだ。お母さんはあったかくって優しくってスープを作ってくれるの。バンピーちゃんのお母さんのことかって？うん、そうだよ。あれ？でもお母さん、バンピーちゃんのお母さんは…
And yes, this is the origin of Vampy having the habit of serving everyone her soup, whether it's on Granblue or Priconne. Even though her memories returned, Vampy can't seem to remember where her mother went, or why she feels sad when remembering her mother. Yuna was confused, thinking that the Vampire Queen is Vampy's mother, but Vampy explained that the queen looks like her mother but isn't really her and Vite's mother.
バンピーちゃんのお母さんってクイーンじゃないの？女王様はお母さんみたいだけどお母さんじゃないよ。
Vampy went on to continue that her memories of her true mother are hazy.
お母さんのことはなんだかぼんやりしてるよ。
What she remembers is that on a cold, snowy night, a door, presumably the door in Vampy and Vite's previous home, was suddenly busted open.
すごく寒い日にドアがバーンって開いて、そこに…
And as if right on time, the gang was attacked by Lycans or Lycos. This led to Vampy having a traumatic episode as if she was reliving what happened in the past where someone invaded their home.
貴様大変！ライカンがやってきましたよ！こいつらがいた。こいつらなんか嫌い！早くやっつけて！
After they defeated the Lycans that attacked them, Vampy continued on what she remembers on that night. She said that Lycans attacked their home, and after that, her mother disappeared. Yuna understood the implications of what Vampy had said, and that her mother died from the Lycans' attack. She kept quiet about this because it seemed that Vampy still assumes that her mother is still alive. She just disappeared. Vampy asks our hero if he knew where Vampy's mother is. Our hero answered that he doesn't know. Well, you see, our hero knew something about Vampy's mother because of a previous event, but he decided to not reveal the truth to Vampy, leaving it up to her what to think about her hazy memories. This led to Vampy thinking that her mother is no longer here. After having a serious one-on-one talk with the legendary fighter, Vampy cheered up and continued on to their destination. Our hero patted Vampy on the head, annoyed at first, but she remembers that her mother also patted her on the head like that. The reason why our hero knew of the fate of Vampy's mother because of what happened in the Attendants of the Dark Knight and the Silver Apostles, a prequel to the Vampire Princess. The Silver Apostles are tasked by Asimi to exterminate those barbaric beasts who lurk in the dark, mainly vampires and werewolves. The Vampire Queen was injured while protecting Granblue Castle against the Apostles, and this enraged Vampy. She decided that she will protect the castle and her friends. Not long after, she had a confrontation with Raven, who is leading the attack against the castle. Vampy struck him with her magic, but it didn't faze him. This time, Raven took the offensive and shot Vania through her chest. You see, the Silver Apostles have special bullets that kill the otherwise immortal vampires and werewolves. The Silver Apostles were successful in exterminating vampires before, but somehow Vampy survived the silver bullet. Before Raven could finish off the injured Vampy, the legendary fighter swooped in and saved Vampy. They successfully escaped the Silver Apostles and were able to rest for a moment away from the battle. The cost of Vampy surviving the silver bullet was her memories. Yes, Vampy, once again, lost her memories. She doesn't even recognize her Kensuke or the legendary fighter. After some time, they meet with Lunel, the queen of the werewolves. Lunel explained that the reason why Vampy survived the shot was because Vampy was originally human. The silver bullet exterminates the evil entities, but since Vampy isn't 100% vampire, the current Vampy is now just a human. Then, how did Vampy become a vampire in the first place if she was originally human? It is at this moment we finally get the full picture of who Vampy really is. Lunel continues. She says that Vampy, Vite, and her mother were blood-related humans living in a village somewhere a long time ago. The Vampire Queen wanted to coexist with humans. She made an agreement with Vampy's village where vampires and humans will coexist. The werewolves did not take too kindly with this coexistence, and so a tribe of werewolves attacked the village and massacred everyone. Vampy and Vite were the only survivors. The Vampire Queen took pity on the two dying children, and so she infused her vampire blood to Vampy and Vite, making them vampires. However, this led to them forgetting the tragedy that befell their village. Now, you may wonder, why doesn't Vampy remember any of this in the previous event? Well, you see, the current human Vampy reverted back into a vampire during this event, and, you guessed it, her memories from when she was a human in this event and Lunel's revelations were all gone. It is also unclear if Vampy's mother is 100% dead, as we have no confirmation if she is really dead. We just have information that her mother quote-unquote disappeared. Well, in the end, Vampy and the gang were successful in repelling the Silver Apostles, and Vampy continues to be the cute, charming, cheerful vampire princess that she is. She appears in several other events like seasonal events, but those are stories for another day, because they don't reveal new information regarding Vampy. So, some people confuse her as being originally a Granblue character, but she first debuted in Rage of Bahamut in 2012, in Dragon's Awakening, a couple of years before the release of Granblue Fantasy. Do note that this is her origin story for Rage of Bahamut, and her origin story is different in Granblue, Priconne, Dragalia Lost, Rip, and others. In Granblue, she hails from Medvesia or Medvekia, an ancient island where the vampires, who currently face the issue of extinction, currently live. Vampy is the queen of vampires but doesn't really enjoy being one. In this story, they have a father figure and his name is Feldrak, who is the prime minister of their island, and takes charge of ruling the island because Vampy is too young. Vite and Beth are here too. In Princess Connect Redive, she was awoken after a long slumber, and surprise surprise, most of her memories are gone. She doesn't know why she's in Landos Hall or where her home is, though Beth, her best friend, remains in her memories. However, Beth is missing. Yuki, who is this world's bloodkin, and Ilya help Vampy in finding Beth in her hometown. The Count of some mansion revealed to her that her home, which is a castle, is now in ruins, and that she was found there inside a box, presumably a coffin, together with Beth. The people that live in that castle were no more. The Count ordered some mercenaries to kidnap Vampy and have her be delivered to him. The story concludes with Vampy, Yuki, and Ilya finding Beth, Ilya giving Vampy a new place to call home, and Yuki vowing to protect her alongside Beth. In Dragalia Lost, she is a major character in the Rage of Kronos event. She appears at Halidom, the main character's base, and wants him to be her bloodkin/servant. At her side is Malinda/Beth, who is actually Kronos, an enemy of the prince, the main character. Kronos tricked Vampy into believing that he was Beth, and it was revealed that Beth died long ago. Grimnir appears to give Vampy the power boost that she needs in order to defeat Kronos. Aside from those, she's also in Shadowverse, where she appears in different cards based from the cards in Rage of Bahamut, and she is also a playable leader in the game. In the Shadowverse anime, she makes a cameo where she is being played by Lucia. Vampy's iconic voice comes from a legendary voice actress, Rei Kugimiya, who also voiced iconic characters such as Louise from Zero no Tsukaima, Shana from Shakugan no Shana, Nagi from Hayate no Gotoku, and of course, Virn from Granblue. Now, in terms of powers and abilities, she is very powerful. Some of her feats include defeating Uriers powered up by the Celestial Egg, used her magic in order to use the Celestial Cane to seal Vera in another dimension, and restored the castle in the sky to its original state. She can conjure up red spears of magic to strike enemies, and she can withstand a direct hit like being shot in the chest. Aside from those, she can command bats to do things, and she can bite people that she likes, most commonly protagonists, to turn them into a bloodkin. On this power chart, she is as powerful as characters such as Cerberus, Dorothy, Olivia, and more. With that, we now know the full origin of Vampy, a once dying human girl who became a powerful vampire through blood, a vampire who was a living experiment by the Celestials, a vampire who lost her memories at least 4 times. To recap, Vampy lost her human memories when the queen turned her into a vampire. Vampy then got drugged by Spinaria, causing her to sleep for a long time and forget most of her memories from before her sleep. And then, Vampy got shot by Riven, reverting her back into a human, losing her memories from when she was a vampire. And then, when she turned back into a vampire, she forgot about what Lonel revealed to her about her mother and her village. Vampy just can't take a break. Anyways, she's a vampire who is friendly to all that are kind to her. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this by subscribing, clicking the bell icon, and liking the video as it helps out the channel. I hope to see you in the next video, World Hoppers.